Hello and welcome. Today we are going to talk about something that happens in almost every prelims paper. Not to few aspirants, to almost everyone. To almost everyone. And it usually starts with very small moment. Imagine this situation. You are about 45 minutes into the exam hall, right? So far things are going reasonably well. You have decoded question carefully. You have identified zones. You have identified structure. You have used the zone model to decide which question to attempt. Then you mark an answer. You move on to the next question and suddenly a thought appears. Okay, a suddenly thought appears. Wait, I think the previous question might have been wrong. At that moment, something subtle happens. Your attention leaves the question in front of you and moves backward. Your brain starts replaying the earlier question. You begin reconstructing your reasoning. You start wondering if you should go back and change the answer. But since you are already on the next question, your attention becomes divided. Part of your mind is still analyzing the earlier decision. The part is trying to read the current question, and the split attention creates the real danger. That split attention creates real danger, right? You are now reading the current question without full focus. You mark something quickly. You move to the next question, but the doubt remains. Within a few seconds, multiple questions receive compromised attention. Not because you lack knowledge, but because your attention was no longer fully present. This is what we call the collapse chain. So, I welcome you all to the day 6 of Clear Thinking Under Pressure course, Recovery and Momentum Control. Okay, in prelim, the aspirant who recovers fast wins, not the aspirant who never doubts. Okay, so what we are going to discuss in our class today is the collapse chain, how one doubt erases 5 questions. Two principles, drop rule and momentum priority. The 15-second recovery script. Okay, let's move. 45 minutes in, performing well, then this. Imagine this as vividly as possible. Most of you have already lived it. You are in 45 minutes in exam hall, performing really well, decoding question, applying structure, using zone model also. You mark an answer, move on. 3 questions later, a thought appeared. Wait, in that question earlier, I think I choose incorrectly. I think I made a mistake. This will be in your mind. So what actually happened next for most aspirants, you stop processing the question in front of you. Your mind slides backward to the question you doubt. You replay the logic. Should I go back and change it? You look at the clock. Changing it will cost time. You stay, but your attention is split. You read the current question, but don't process it properly. Mark something without full engagement. Next question. Next, within 10 minutes, 5 questions received compromised attention. So, this is not a rare edge case. This is the single common source of preventable mark loss. I hope you are getting my points clearly, right? So, the collapse chain. This is what? The collapse chain starts from first to 6. So, to escape this collapse, what you have to need to see, we have to apply is one mistake leads to attention split, which leads to more errors, which compounds through the paper. So, one doubt, perceived mistake on past question, attention split, mind divided between past and present, degraded reading, current question proceed with 50% capacity, more errors, mistakes on question you could have got right, more doubt, new doubts compound the original, paper collapse, score 15 to 20 marks below the actual ability. So, the biology in here is the human brain depends on perceived loss with more intensity than equivalent gain. I hope you are getting my point. The human brain responds to perceived loss with more intensity than the equivalent gain. So one wrong answer triggers more cognitive activation than one right answer. So UPSC paper structure exploit this. So this is not a weakness. This is the biology of law of aversion. It is also completely interruptible. I hope you are getting my point. Now, the two principles that break the collapse chain is built on cognitive science, not optimism. You cannot fix a question you have already passed. First principle. Once you have moved past question in the exam, it exists only in your memory. Any cognitive resources you devote to it is being stolen from the question currently in front of you. So that is pure loss. No recovery. Only additional cost. I hope you are getting my point. Now, implication. Every second spent on past question is a second not spent on the present one. There is no neutral position. Backward attention is always a negative. Right? Then comes the second principle. Momentum is more valuable than the individual question. An aspirant who maintains stable attention quality across 100 questions will outsource an aspirant who peaks brilliantly on 50 and collapse on 50, even if the brilliant 50 are more accurate. So, consistency compounds, collapse compounds too. So, a 3-mark error on one question costs 3 marks. A collapse but compromises 15 questions at 0.5 marks each on average costs 7.5 marks. Protect 15, not the one. I hope you got the clear-cut idea. So both principles point to the same conclusion, that backward attention is always a loss, never a recovery. You can't recover it. It will be always in a negative way, right? So the drop rule is absolute. Once a question is marked, it is closed. Once a question is marked, it is closed. Not a pause, not pending review, not I will come back if I have time. It is closed means closed, right? This is not denial. Dropping a question is not pretending you didn't make a mistake. It is acknowledging that the mistake, if it is one, cannot be fixed right now, and only rational response is to protect the remaining question. I hope you are getting my point. And this is not a avoidance. Post-exam review is a legitimate and valuable. Analyze every question after the paper. Find what you got wrong, understand why, build your knowledge. The drop rule applies only in the hall, where backward attention has no upside. Okay, after the exam, you can analyze anywhere and you can analyze why this question has been made incorrect in any different ways. But in real-time examination, backward movement is always negative. Point to be remembered. Now, this is the attention management. Every exam skill reduced to one resources, attention. The drop rule is system of directing that resource exclusively forward where it has a value rather than the backward where it has none. Okay, so attention in forward questions has a value, but attention in a backward question have none. I hope you are getting my points. So not pause, not pending review, closed. The postmortem happened after the paper, never during, right? So the 15 seconds recovery script. If you find that previous question is incorrect, what you need to do? Run this moment you feel doubt, panic or rush beyond comprehension. Deploy when you feel doubt about the past question. You sense panic rising. You catch yourself rushing faster than the comprehension can follow, right? One cut, reset breath. Sharp inhale 3 seconds, long exhale 6 to 7 through mouth, micro pause. This biological interrupt activates the parasympathetic system, lower cortisol, return your body from threat response to processing mode. From day 2, already trained. This is not new. This is deployment. Okay. Step 2, 2 seconds. Cognitive cut. One sentence. That question is closed. Right? Not. I hope it was right. Not. I will revisit later. The word closed is specific and deliberate. It signals to your executive function that the case is resolved, freeing work memory from the holding it open. This is not denial. It is an attention management. There is nothing to decide about that question right now. Right? Step 3. 8 seconds. Forward anchor. Look at the next question number and ask what structure is this. Okay, one word internally. Classification, true or false, trend or logic, the momentum. Your brain engages with the new question structure. The backward slide stops because you have given attention a new legitimate target. From day 4, structured identification. Forward anchor use trained skill as an anchor rope. So the collapse chain is interrupted in 2 to 15 seconds. You are back in the present situation. I hope you are getting my point, right? The recovery script visual flow. 12 to 15 second collapse chain interrupted, back in the present. So you triggered that previous question was right. Doubt, panic and rushing. Step 1, cut, reset breath. Step 2, cognitive cut, that the question is closed. Step 3, forward actor, look at the next question, name its structure, and back in the present question, collapse chain broken. Right? Practice this deliberately in your next mock and not randomly, but at the first sign of backward pull. I hope you are getting clear-cut idea. Right? So, the drop rule versus legitimate review. Situation, marked answer, moved on, now feeling down. Drop rule, drop, apply, recovery script closed. Planned review, not a review situation. Backward pulls only. Skipped a question, zone 3 or zone 2. It is an skip list, not a drop situation. Return when time permits. This was planned return. Answer a question still on it. Uncertainty. You haven't moved on yet. Use zone model now. Apply decision script before making, not drop rule. Finished first pass, time remaining reviewing. Post first pass review is legitimate. Return to skip list only, no revisiting marked answer. Point to be remembered, no revisiting to the marked answers. Exam analyzing what happened, drop rule no longer applies. Full postmortem available and recommended. The drop rule is not a ban on returning to the skipped question. It is a ban on doubt-driven re-examination. I hope you are getting clarity. Right? Day's final phase. The last 30 minutes where the most preventable losses happen. So, the last 30 minutes where the most preventable losses. This is not where strategy changes. This is where strategies apply most preciously. What typically happens? Aspirant performs well, reaches last 30 minutes. Time pressure intensifies. Look at remaining questions. Feels urgency. Thinks I need to increase attempt to cover for any mistakes. I need to increase attempt to cover for any mistakes. Start marking zone 3 questions skipped. Exposure and composure earlier. No longer using the zone model. Compensating emotionally. Right? So what goes wrong? Zone 3 guessing start. Expected value return negative. Time pressure distort risk assessment. Mark loss through panic attempts exceed marks potentially gained. Cognitive resources depleted by stress, reducing accuracy on remaining questions. Paper ends on losing trajectory. What to do instead? Because pressure is highest, discipline must be highest. Apply zone model with exact same criteria as minute 1. Return to skip list with remaining time. Planned returns only. Cut reset break between each remaining question if needed. Finish by deciding, not by failing, right? The moment you feel the urge to recover marks, that urge is signal emotion has entered, right? So the distinguishing urgency from panic. Both feels pressure. Only one helps you score. Okay. The last 30 minutes produce time pressure that is real and legitimate. The question is how you respond to it. There are two possible responses and they produce completely different outcome. Urgency, system driven. How it feels. Time is limited, need to be efficient. Decision based. Zone model applied, same criteria as our one. Skipping, zone 3 still skip, discipline holds. Speed resources. Efficiency in zone 1 questions, faster decisions on clear cases. Outcome. Score reflects stability accurately, no uncertainty loss. But in panic, emotion driven, how it feels running out of time, need to attempt everything. Decision bias. Urgency overrides structure, gut feeling used. Skipping. Zone 3 attempted, negative EV materialize. Speed source. Cutting corner on reading and analysis. Outcome. Score drops below ability. Preventable losses compound. So urgency use system. Panic abundance it. The feeling is similar. The decision is completely different. Right? So how to build recovery into automaticity. Practice deliberately, not randomly. The cue is doubt itself. The rule. In your next mock, at first moment, you feel doubt about the previously marked answer. Don't wait to see if it is passed. Deploy the script immediately. The purpose is to build the reflex, not to test whether the doubt would have gone on its own. Track doubt events. Every time you feel doubt about a past question in your next mock, mark a tally on your rough sheet. At the end, count them. This tells your baseline doubt frequency and shows you how many potential collapse events you are managing. Time the script. When you deploy the recovery step, note whether it returns your attention to the present question within 15 seconds or not. If it takes longer, you skip a step. Most commonly, the forward anchor. The structure identification is anchor. Without it, the script is incomplete. So in last 30 minutes audit, after the mock, mark every question you attempted in the last 30 minutes. Classify each as zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. Count how many zone 3 questions you have attempted under the time pressure. Each one is a data point on how pressure affected your decision making. Okay, this is the real data. Right? Review the drift points. Identify the exact question where your accuracy started declining. What happened immediately before? Almost always a doubt event that wasn't resolved with the script drift as a cause. Find it, the script was fixed that wasn't used. The tool does not work if you wait to see whether the feeling passes. It won't. Deploy it immediately. I hope you are getting clear-cut idea about the basics, right? So, doubt is normal, even toppers doubt. The difference is not the presence or absence of doubt. It is the response to it. In UPSC prelims, the aspirants who recover fastest win, not the aspirants who never doubt, right? So, the aspirants who never doubts, the aspirant is imaginary. Even the highest scorer experience doubt mid-exam. Expecting zero doubt itself is a source of panic when doubt arrives. Believing you should never doubt create a second failure on top of the first. So the aspirants who recover fast is this aspirant trains and succeeded. Experience doubt same as everyone else. Recognize it as a normal cognitive event, not as a catastrophe. Has a pre-trained 15-second response already in the place. Return to full attention on the current question within 15 seconds. So the goal is not to eliminate doubt. The goal is to keep doubt small and local. I hope you are getting my point. So the complete recovery sequence in the exam hall is first doubt appears, trigger recognition, step 1 breathe, then cut, then anchor, full re-engagement, right? The chain is interrupt at step 2 recognition, step 1, 2, 3 ensure it does not restart, right? This sequence becomes automatic, built in the next mock, deploy it in the exam. So that's day 1 to day 6, a complete tool stack. Day 1 reframe pressure, that is ongoing. Cut reset breath 10 to 15 seconds. Reframe pressure, you have to reframe pressure for 2 hours of your exam. It should be ongoing process. Cut reset breath, it should be in 10 to 15 seconds. 3-step decoding, it will be around 5 to 8 seconds. Structure first 2 seconds. 3-zone model 3 to 5 seconds. Recovery script 10 12 to 15 seconds. So the sequence is reframe, pressure, breathe when needed, decode, structure, zone decision, recover if doubt, runs automatically. I hope you got a clear-cut idea about the things, right? So in day 7, what we are going to discuss is a complete operating system. Everything integrated into one loop of 100 questions. Tomorrow, I give you everything in one integrated loop. The complete operating system for 100 questions. You will walk out of day 7 with single coherent process, not 6 separate tools, but one protocol that runs as one thing from question 1 to question 100. So what you are going to discover in day 7 is the single protocol that integrates all 6 tools into one seamless cognitive sequence. Okay. The second, what we are going to discuss is phase by phase strategy. Different phases of paper, opening, mid-exam, final 30 minutes, call for different emphases. So day 7 maps this precisely. A pre-exam activation, the 10 minutes pre-exam protocol, how to enter the exam hall already running the system, not scrambling to start it under pressure. Tonight, run the recovery script once deliberately in time session, track your doubt count. Right? So today's key takeaways are collapse chain, one doubt, attention split, degraded reading, more errors, more doubt, paper collapses. You can't fix a question you have already passed. Backward attention is always purely loss. Momentum is more valuable than any individual question. So consistency outscores brilliance than collapse. The drop rule is absolute. Once the question is marked, it is closed. So postmortem happens after the paper. The 15-second recovery script. Breath, that question is closed. Forward anchor, name the structure, right? The last 30 minutes, pressure is highest. Therefore, discipline must be also highest. No strategy change. Urgency, system driven is valid. Panic, emotion driven cost marks. The feeling is similar, the decision is not. The goal is not to eliminate doubt. It is to keep doubt small, local and resolved under 15 seconds. I hope you are getting a clear-cut ideas, right? And you are applying all the concept and applying all the things whatever I have assigned you, right? Thank you so much.